Welcome to ProServe 2012 Training Videos. In this video, I'm going to touch on the customer file maintenance some more and show you some more in-depth things involving the different tabs. I have a customer in mind that I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to look at the AR History tab. And as you can see, the program is going to keep track of all the history that I've done as far as accounts receivables are concerned. So these are orders that I've posted. These are payments received. If, for example, I wanted to reprint or look at that invoice, I can just double click that invoice number, highlight it here, and then I can select print and really preview that invoice from here. Now, if I needed to, for example, email this to that customer, I can easily click this, save it, or export it out as a PDF file. Let me get this in so you can see it. And I'm just going to select save. It automatically defaults to put it in your documents. So I've already got one out there, but I'm going to go ahead and override it because I don't want to clutter my documents with a bunch of different invoice names for different customers. I just want to override it so that it's easy to do and easy to keep up with. So if I quit from this screen, I notice that my customer does have an email, and so it gives me the email option. So now I can select email, select my attachment button, change my file type to Adobe, and then I can find that invoice that I just saved. Double click it, it brings it in. Then I can just type in the body of the email and send it on out, and just click send. Now, if you're using something like Gmail, you're going to get a blind copy of this email in your sent. It's going to show up in your sent box in your Gmail account. If you're running something other than Gmail, there is a feature that you can turn on in the program off of the system and user default screen, where you can tell the program, hey, send me a blind copy. And what it'll do, whatever your email account is, where it's coming from, it'll actually send a blind copy to that email. Okay. Now, if I wanted to look at a payment, for example, and I wanted to know what did that $54.50, what did it apply to? Well, most likely it applied to that one. But to be sure, I can just double click it and it will actually show me and where that payment was applied to, what invoice. Now, if I wanted to print this information out, I can just get on the record that I want to start with. For example, I could get on this record of 654, select print, and then it would start at 654 and print from there down. And again, I can do the same thing. I could save this. I could export this into a PDF, email it to the customer, or whatever I needed to do. Same thing if I do payments. It'll do the same thing. If I start here and click payments, what it's going to do is break down all my payments. There's the payment. It applied to that invoice. Here's a payment of $54, and it applied to that one. Okay. This is a good way to easily see what payments, what their applications were to help a customer, that may call concerning their invoice or bill or their accounts receivables. So this is pretty much the AR history. Now, if I click aging, I've got two invoices that are actually open here. And again, I can double click this guy and I can reprint that invoice. And I could email that invoice as well. So this is the invoice that we've already kind of looked at from the sales order side, but this is a little different. This is actually the invoice, so it's different from what we did from AR history. Let me, no it's not. It's still the invoice. It's not different. So it's basically the same thing. Now on this screen, if I click the date, and it tells you here what you can do. I think the date does something. No, the date doesn't do anything. I can double click the invoice. If there's a open credit, I could have double clicked the reference number and it would give me some more information about that open credit and where it came from. Now on this screen I have aging and statements, so it's the same basic principle as from the AR history. I can print an aging report here and I could save it as a PDF, email it to the customer, and whatnot. Same thing with a statement. Okay. Now you may ask, well, where's this logo coming from? Well, in this system, there's three types or three styles of invoice statements, invoices or statements, or that you can use, and you can actually apply your own logo to this statement. It's real easy to do. There's another video that explains exactly how to do that, but that's where that comes from. So it is possible for you to put your own logo and incorporate it into this program. Now I can look at period sales. It's really not a good example, but as you can see, I can see current year, last year, and previous year, so it'll keep track of sales for you. Also, detailed sales. These are invoices or work orders that were posted that have become invoices. These are all the chemicals or detailed supplies that I used as well for this customer. And I have a time frame that I can set if I'm interested in a certain time frame or whatnot. And I can filter down to the actual service code. In case this customer had more than one service account, then I could enter the service account number, which is right here. And I could actually filter down to that exact address and see exactly what I did at that specific location. Okay? Well, that pretty much covers this video in how you can kind of move around and manipulate things and print reports and aging and things like that, and actually email this information out. Now obviously, if a customer's got to have an email account set up in order for me to be able to send him email, otherwise even if I did the aging and saved it, I wouldn't be able to do it from here. But you could save this as a PDF, go into your email software that you currently use, excuse me, and actually use it and just pick the attachment up and send it out through your email. So that's really up to you. And that pretty much, I think, is what I wanted to show you in this video. So that kind of wraps this one up. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed it, be sure and give me a thumbs up on it. Thanks.